What's happening, everybody? Getting everybody in the room. What's up? What's up? What's up? Cool. Awesome, guys. Welcome to BA coaching. Just getting some more people in here. And we're gonna keep jamming, keep rolling. All right. So hey guys, the plan for today is me and Jimmy, Coach Jimmy and I are gonna be going over how to make your ads better, how to make them pop, how to actually get your cost per lead lower. I'm running some ads right now, getting them down under $5. I know a lot of other people in our community are doing the same thing. So anytime that you guys can figure out how to get your cost per lead down is going to be a game changer. But let's go ahead and start, guys, with you guys throwing in what's your wins from this last week. I want to know. Let's get some wins in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and get Jimmy co-hosting in here.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Is Dan in here? Dan's not in here. Hang on, let me get Dan. My boy Dan has 5 closed. He's been at it 2 months. I think he's got 5. He closed his 5th today,
That's
and
awesome.
3 more pending.
Let's go. So, anyways, let me see what some of you guys put in here for the chat. For some of you guys didn't put any wins in the chat. Can I just not see them? No wins? Come on, guys. It's got to be a win.
Well, that's why we're doing this call.
Even if you're breathing, that's a win. Let's just put it that way. Got breath in the lungs, that's a win. All right, cool. I'm gonna go over some. Let me see my notes.
Hang on. Do you want to promote?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm grabbing some of these notes. Here they are. Cool. So access to all the EXP tools. I'm gonna throw that link in there. Also access to Slack, and then I have a recording of last week's BA coaching, which is basically I went over the vendor program. So how to basically leverage other people's money to put more on the ad spend. So once you know your cost to acquire a customer, if it's $300, $500, or $800, doesn't really matter. Whoever can afford the most to acquire the customer is going to win. So if you can get a lender, a title, insurance, whatever, right, to help pay for your ads, um, now all of a sudden, like you're going to be able to go spend $3,000 a month. So I have a builder that gives me $1,500 a month. I have a lender that gives me $1,500 a month. I'm actually looking to get quite a bit more money to break into other markets just because I can with some of these new strategies that we're going to be teaching you guys. So also I'm going to throw the One Big Fire link in here as well. So let me just start throwing stuff in here. And I'm going to give you guys my coaching notes at the end so you guys will have all these. But if you want to start grabbing them now, I think a lot of people do this. So here's last week's coaching calls notes, and then I have One Big Fire event coming up in Cabo. Love to see you guys in that room or on the beach. So that's coming up in May or March, and then Florida, March 17th and 18th. We're going to do a 2-day event in Tampa. We literally just confirmed that this morning on our call. So I don't necessarily have all of the details on that. But if you wanted to book your flight, that's the day it's happening. So I know flights is always the biggest thing. So if you wanted to get your flight for Florida, you want to make sure you guys do that March 17th and 18th. And then Cabo is that first week in March. So I don't know if you can do both, but if you could, I would. And the 2-day event, just so you guys know, like, we're adding to it. So some of the things that we're adding to it is it's going to be also the buyer side of the business. So it's the seller presentation, the buyer's presentation. We're going to be really diving into how to actually like close deals in real time. I think, I'm realizing that there's a lot of people who have built their business on referral. And so when it comes to working some of these leads, some people struggle. And so we're going to be giving you guys some real time, like training, live stuff like that. And we're going to be doing some of that on the call here, but our whole team's going to be there. Jimmy, Alex, Woods, Glenn, everybody's going to be there. So it's going to be a good time in Florida on the 17th and 18th. So as for today, like my goal today is Jimmy and I are going to be kind of going over the type of ads that we're running. And then I have some like tools for you guys at the end that I think will help you guys. I actually stayed up till like 2 o'clock last night working on like different ad copy and stuff like that. Just because I'm super excited about, and it wasn't just for like the buyer side of the business and the seller side of the business. It's for all the things that we're doing as a unit. So I'm just excited about that. But one of the things that we're going to be going over, or we're not going to go over, but I'm going to show you where it's already recorded, is you guys should have your pixel set up, right? So your pixel should be set up. This is how you retarget people. This is how you get your cost per lead to go down. Jimmy did a great video that's in the Digital President Academy, and it's in, I can share my screen and show you guys exactly where it's at, but it should be basically in the Attract ROI for beginners, and it walks you through step by step on how to set up your pixels. So, number one, I would do this week is put time in your calendar right now and put 60 minutes. It probably would take you 30, but just put 60 just in case, and get your pixel set up. And it literally will take you 15 minutes, and it will help you get your cost per lead down with running retargeting ads and becoming omnipresent, right? So imagine taking your entire database, whether it's 100 people or, you know, 12,000 people. It doesn't matter how many people. Let's just call it a couple thousand people. You take that couple thousand people, and now all of a sudden, every time they open up their phone, they see you, right? Like they just see you. They see you. They see the last closing you did. They see a testimonial from one of your clients with a video. They see you walking through a house. They just see you. And so, you definitely want to make sure you guys get that set up. It'll take you less than an hour. So put that in your calendar as part of the acquisition process. As part of what we do. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out on, I mean, you're just making your job harder. So that is what I had to kind of get us started. And then I know Jimmy's going to kind of take over the call for here. And then I'll dive in towards the end and give you guys some value. So,
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I know this has been, Kyle's thing and we're just trying to add to it. I think it's awesome what Kyle's done so far, and so I know we have a Kyle, cuz I haven't been on, or I was on one a couple weeks ago. Do we
mm,
have we have some new faces in here, right?
yeah, definitely some new faces, which is great. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we definitely got some new faces. We've changed the time a few times, but this is going to be the time that we stick with. I think every week I've done it, it's been a new time. So it's been within an hour and a half range of the start time, but it's so now that with some consistency, I think this will be a solid group, and this will just be hungry agents who want to crush it. So
Yeah, I think, from my outsider's perspective, we just wanted to sort of fill a gap, if you will, in our support, which was, people just looking for a little bit more advanced level um, of just training and really optimizing things, right? I think that's going to be the goal of this call moving forward. Yeah, just doing it every week, right, Kyle? So,
yep.
um, yeah, just really, maximizing opportunities, right? So when we talk about retargeting, well, look, to me, all of this stuff is just a math equation, right? Because, if you've been on office hours, like I see a few familiar faces, to me, it is, if you're spending $10 a day or $20 a day or whatever it is, well, the numbers that really make up how many opportunities you are given is, well, what is your cost per lead, right? Because if you're spending $20 a day and your cost per lead is $10, well, you've only got two leads. But if we can drop your lead cost to maybe $5 a day, well, now you literally just doubled your leads with just one action, right? So if we here, I still, my thing is still open. Here, let me pull up that slide because, where'd it go? Yeah, here it is. Let me share this screen here. Here it is. Yeah. Okay. So, this one here. So, if I'm just looking at this one part of the funnel, right? Your lead cost. That's what this is. Well, if it's over $10 a day, if any one of y'all are running a cash cow funnel and it's over $10 a day, or sorry, if your cost per lead is over $10, if it's double digits, that is unacceptable, right? Let me be very blunt about that. It needs to be um at least single digits, if not closer to $5 a day, right? I wish Dan was in here. I think his cost per lead is hang on, I had it no, I got off of it. But his cost per lead is under 5, but I think he's at like $2 and something, right? And he's not even maximizing everything, which is crazy. But that's what we'll talk about today. I mean, Kyle, I'll be on. I don't have anything super planned out, but I can talk about anything. When it comes to
Well, yeah, let's get people going with everybody here can run like the still pictures, right? Like everybody understands that. I think the biggest thing is like leveraging video in your ads, right? So like videos consumed 60,000 times faster than anything else. It builds trust by 90%. I believe 2026 is the year of video. And now with AI and so many different tools, like creating video and editing video is so much easier. And so but also there's a lot of noise. So how do you stand out in the crowd? How do you do some of the stuff? I think we could, what I like to do is show them. I think I have it, but do you have Chi Chi's videos that we could
I'm
show them?
pulling
I think that would be
pulling it up.
big. So there's a guy in our community and he's running he's running new construction funnel ads and he's doing it with a video instead of a picture and he's gotten his cost per lead down to like under $5. And so it was like low four, but I think it jumped up a little bit since anytime you run something for a longer period of time. So what I think is important to pay attention to is these are all in your trainings, right? But is looking at what he says in the video, his hook, what he's actually doing, some of the
Yeah.
tactical stuff that both of us can touch on. But do you want to play those and then I think that'll be good.
Yeah, here, I gotta reshare it. Yeah, because when, Kyle was talking about the Pixel before. So with the Pixel, I mean, it's always good to have, like, if you're gonna run ads at a high level, you need to have your Pixel dialed in, and it's called a data set now. I mean, Pixel has been the buzzword for the last decade, so I'm cool using that,
If it's
yeah.
changed, you tell me. If it's
Well,
data
it's the
set
same
now.
thing, but yeah, but with the power with video that we're gonna talk about right now is I'm like 99% sure, I could be wrong, but you could not have a Pixel and even run it because the option when you go to do the retargeting is, "Hey, show this new ad to people who watched 25% or 50% of this video that you can select," right? So you don't even need a pixel for that, I think, but I could be wrong. So let me show you what that video that we're talking about. So in your cash cow training course that everybody should have access to, if you scroll to the very, 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 very bottom down here, retargeting. So these two modules right here are two different videos that our boy Chi Chi did, and I'm gonna play these.
Hey, if you're looking for a deal on a brand new home, listen up because these new construction homes, they have to sell like yesterday. Right now, builders are offering huge incentives, things like reduced prices, credits at closing, upgrades, and more to get these homes sold. And you don't have to overpay to get in. Tap to learn more to get free instant access to the list, but some of these expire soon, so don't wait.
Let me
Well,
tell y'all something. He crushed that script. Like if I were gonna get back into selling and do a new construction funnel, I would literally take his video right here and copy it word for word, which I put down here, right here. Okay. Put it into a teleprompter app on my phone and literally shoot that same exact video. That's what I would do. Okay. And I know a lot of people on this call don't have this video. So if you want to have more opportunities for the same spend that you're spending right now, then I would make this video, right? And so I want to touch on a couple of the things down here because I know people don't read these things down here, but I think it's important to take the time to go through it. The principles behind what makes this video and this script work so well. So the first 3 seconds of any video, and this isn't just for this one, we'll talk about principles for everything, right? The first 3 seconds are, and think about your own behavior when you see an ad, whether it's on your phone or even on the TV. I see some fellas on here. Did anybody watch the NFL games yesterday? Right? How many of y'all the Super Bowl? Oh, Rick, what you got? What you got there? What is that? Carolina? There, you. It may be subconscious or fully conscious. You make a decision when an ad pops up, right? When the play is over and they go to commercial. Okay, are you gonna pay attention to the commercial or are you gonna whip out your phone and do something on your phone, right? Or maybe go to the kitchen and grab another beer or whatever it is that y'all do. Okay. The first 3 seconds are what hook you in. So I think that deserves a high level of strategic thinking, right? And so the first sentence here is a very strong hook that so it's called a call out. So you're calling out the audience that you want to hook in, that you're trying to attract, right? And so he said, and I like his listen up right out of the gate. So let's listen to the first 3 seconds.
hey, if you're looking for a deal on a brand new home, listen up.
If you are looking for a brand on a deal, if you are looking for a deal on a brand new home, listen up. right? So now he's got your attention. If you were looking for a brand new home, you might listen up, especially after he says listen up, right? And then the offer is compelling, right? So we know buyers care about two things: selection and affordability. Those are the two things they care about the most. This one hits hard, especially hard. This one is so good on the affordability side, right? He says right now, builders are offering huge incentives, things like reduced prices, credits, comped upgrades, and more. Why are they doing these things? To get the home sold, right? Affordability, and you don't have to overpay, right? Tap to learn more. Here's the kicker. This is what makes it brilliant. There's a sense of urgency now, but some of these expire soon, so don't wait. And that's real, right? Like that's not made up. That's not because people know, I mean, the market is changing all the time, right? So, now there's a sense of urgency. There's a reason for that person to click the learn more button instead of scrolling past, right? So if someone's serious, right? Man, I wish Chi Chi was on here. Kyle, we got to get Chi Chi on here next week because I would love to
Yeah.
hear his before he had this video and after he had this video, the kind of people that he's dealing with, right? Because it's gonna attract. Your offer is the number one thing, right? Because it's what is attracting it's attracting a certain kind of person, right? And so these things are so important, right? I talked about that one. The other things that I put in here are two visual things that are important that might go unrecognized is the movement, right? So if you watch it, I know it's kind of, screen grab, whatever. I'll try to blow it up here. But watch from the beginning. Watch the movement of what's happening within the frame.
Hey, if you're looking for a deal on a brand new home, listen up because these new construction homes, they have to sell.
Let me ask you a question. Because I think I saw Austin, you're in here, right? I saw you come in a minute ago. Yeah, Austin's in here. So Austin had one and I'm not ragging on you, my man, but he had one where he was just, were you sitting down or I think you were standing up or maybe you were sitting down on the garage blocker things. You can chime in if you can hear me, but
Yes, sir. I was sitting on a garage blocker. Yeah.
yeah, you were sitting down. Yeah. So is that one going to be more or less effective than this one where there's this movement? I mean, y'all see what I'm talking about, right? So, I mean, it's a subtle thing, but if you want more leads for the same spend, these are the kind of things that you got to think about, right? So just some kind of, keeps them eyes engaged and curious. So yeah, we call that a push and pan. So if you have a friend who can go out there with you and literally just do, push in as you walk towards them and then pan to the side, that's all. Anybody can do that with a little bit of direction. Okay. And then yeah, if you'll notice too, right? So that was one cut and then
Homes, they have to sell like yesterday. Right now,
boom, and then a cut to a different spot in the neighborhood, right? So these little things, I mean, they make a difference, guys. And so, but look, would this be super hard to do? I think the answer is no.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Afternoon. Hey, what do you think? I know that the movement's definitely required, to get the attention of people. But what about a tripod? You walking up on a tripod with a camera? Do you think that hits half as good as
If you didn't have a buddy to go with you, I would hold it selfie style. So like, where's my thing?
Gotcha.
Right? So this thing, right? I would just put whichever direction it goes. Yeah. I would just put the phone in here and
We
I would
can't
just
see you,
walk
Jimmy, by the
around.
way.
Huh?
Yeah, that's cool.
We can't see you, or I can't.
I can
Oh,
see.
you can't?
I got
Oh,
it.
no. I can. Sorry. I was on something else. I was looking at something else.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I would not do static. So holding it in your hand is better than static, and having a buddy to go with you
Even
is better than holding it yourself.
Understood.
Great question. I do know, Kyle, I don't know if you know, the one that Julian it's called the DJI
Yes.
Osmo something.
Yeah, it's the DJI Osmo Pocket. They're about to come out with
Pocket.
version 4.
Yeah,
so you
but
can
those
wait.
are like $800. I mean, listen, if you got $800, that's fine. But like, I mean, shoot, I would pay my buddy, just tell him I'll buy you lunch or I'll
Say I'll
give you
buy somebody a
$100.
Coke.
Yeah, or just, hey, can you be a good friend and come shoot this?
Yeah.
Right?
The gimbal that I have I could put it on a tripod or wherever I want. It lets you use hand movements, and it will follow me around. And
Yeah,
I
that's
always
what
try
I'm
to get
talking
people
about
to
with
help me,
the
but it seems like it's halftime. They call you right before and don't show up. That's one reason I like doing it myself.
well,
Yeah, I think it
I mean, the
honestly.
Osmo thing is we're talking about the same thing. I would go handheld selfie style second, and then before I did any sort of camera stuck on a tripod somewhere. But the point is, you just want some movement in the background,
Yeah.
right? That's it. And doing it in different spots. So here, let's watch the whole thing now that I've kind of cued your focus here so you can notice the different spots that he does here.
Hey, if you're looking for a deal on a brand new home, listen up because these new construction homes, they have to sell like yesterday. Right now, builders offering
Boom.
huge incentives, things like reduced prices, credits at closing, upgrades, and more to get these homes sold. And you don't have to overpay to get in. Tap to learn more to
Boom.
get free instant access to the list, but some of these expire soon, so don't wait.
So just 3 different cuts.
Love that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So what I would say on that is like he nailed his offer. He had movement. He actually had like a piece of paper as like his product. Like, hey, get a list of these incentives. Like anytime you can have a prompt, I think makes a lot of sense. The prompt doesn't even have to make sense in it, right? He could be holding a banana
You mean a
and
prop?
yeah, a prop. There we go. Not prompt. I've been writing prompts, but props. So yeah, basically anytime you can leverage a prop in your video, it's going to perform better. So just like little things like that he did, you could, I mean, just those. So having some type of movement, not being super static, but having movement, nailing his hook, had a good offer, like what the offer is. He had a very clear call to action, like what should you do? And his video was what 45 seconds. It was really simple, easy to listen to. So I mean, he looked good. He looked sharp. He had homes in the background. So all of those different things kind of working together is what makes the difference, right? And so I think, having that formula is going to help you guys get number one, having a good offer. Number two, using that same formula is going to help you guys crush it. So all you guys should have access to his video in the training. So there's that. I guess I could throw it in the chat as well, but I think everybody has it in there,
Yeah,
right?
everybody in here should have access to that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like your prop. That was good, dude. We just updated the thing.
Yeah.
Let me show the second one real quick.
Yeah, show his other video.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead and show his other video.
Script is down here. This one's selfie style.
Buyers, these homes right behind me are doing a one-day sale with between $100,000 and $150,000 in builder credits. It's a brand new development by one of Metro Vancouver's notable developers. Deals like this, they don't come around often. Builders across the region are offering huge incentives right now, but only for limited time or on select homes. Make sure you don't miss out on opportunities like this. If you want to be the first to know about the best deals in town right now, click the learn more below to get free instant access.
I mean, again, he crushed the offer, right? Basically, he's just building a sense of urgency, which is easy to do with new construction, assuming you're doing new construction, right? Yeah. And the offer and the affordability piece is the other part of the offer, right? And I can't see everybody again. There we go. Yeah. So we want y'all to know that these are here because I don't know if everybody knew that these were, right? So I would absolutely get these up and running because what this will do is open up more options, right? So that, I mean, these could be run as, top of funnel as well,
Yeah.
meaning, the first thing, and then we could make the retargeting. This will be a different campaign, right? We could retarget them with the same video or the second video or vice versa, whatever, or both or all, see all the above, right? But if you have the video, now it just opens up more options, right?
Jimmy-
Versus, I mean, we can change the image to better reflect, homes that are in your area. We can do that too, but that doesn't have, it does have a retargeting aspect to it in terms of if people interact. So you can do it with that. But, there's a lot of different knobs that we can turn to drop your lead costs. And I think that's kind of the main point of what we're talking about today.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Was the point of this retargeting as a secondary follow-up to the static pictures that we were doing in the new construction funnels? Or, are you suggesting, because to me, mine didn't perform that just great, right? We were trying different pictures, and then we have to come back a couple of weeks, try another couple of pictures. I think video would be better right out of the get-go.
1,000%.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, okay, I guess I've answered my own question. I mean, that would be how I'd want to pursue going forward with the funnels, so yeah, I'll be working on that and get it done.
Yeah, perfect. Because now, I mean, video is the differentiator, right? Because every realtor and their grandma can post a picture with some copy on it, and
Nobody
the
watches.
copy could be good or bad, whatever. But if you do a video, you automatically stand out. People are now, getting to get to know, like, and trust your face, right? And interacting with it, and depending on, I was going to hold back, but I'm not going to hold back. They're also you're giving them a chance to read your body language too. So if you can come in there and confidently just nail the script, right? Whatever that means for you. Look, if it takes you 13 takes, then it takes you 13 takes. Like, I've been there, right? Sometimes it takes you a few takes to get it right, but nobody care. Nobody's watching you when you're doing it. Nobody's worried about you, right? Like, just get it done to the point where you feel really good about it, right?
Yeah, you are what you is, and everybody's going to see you, and they're either going to like you or they're not going to like you, and
Yeah.
the world, man. That's why, I think that's a great thing, and I'd rather use that than those static home shots, So
Yeah,
I'll revisit that with you.
the other thing too is, I mean, you might be surprised too with, you could get two versions of the same script, and you could even post both of those as ads and see which one performs better, right? You could have, I always tell this story. So Levi and I, when we were filming, we were up in Plano, and usually I would hold the camera, but he was holding the camera this day for whatever reason. And I'm talking about something, and I tripped hard on this, sidewalk that was like that, right? Almost ate it, like hand hit the floor. um, and guess what? We kept it in. Kept it in. Why? Authenticity. That's why. It was real. And I mean, I recovered and it was fine, and it was funny, and we got a ton of comments on that video. And guess what comments do? They drive engagement, and they make Facebook like your stuff more, and they're going to show it to more people for a lower CPM, which a CPM is your cost per 1,000 impressions. That's another thing that y'all don't really need to be worried about. But yeah, so I'm not saying go out and purposefully trip over a sidewalk, but if you do mess up, then it's not the end of the world. Reese always talks about having a testing budget. The only budget you should have for anything is a testing budget, right? Because if you have something that works, well, your budget should be unlimited for that, right? Or at least unlimited to your bandwidth that you can handle, right? And also with what Kyle went over last week with the vendor program guide, which, by the way, if y'all don't have that, I just printed this out. Guys, this vendor program guide is not like some 2-page thing. Here, I'm trying to.
Is there a link?
This is a 61-page thing, okay? So if you're not sure on how to do it, then the resources are there, okay?
Are those in the cash cow thing? I missed last week, I guess, and I would like to look.
I dropped the link in there at the beginning.
The link.
Yeah, you should have had it. It was just last week's coaching call.
A meeting or a Google Docs.
If you just click on the meeting notes, it'll show you the video. The video's like halfway down on that, and you can go watch the video.
I guess I can figure that out.
Yeah, cool. All right, so
I'm just reading the comments now. Louis said, "Wives or husbands have no choice; they have to come down." That's funny.
Yeah, Louis is the man. All right, cool. What I'm gonna drop to you guys real quick is the right here is this document of a buyer profile. So this is something that I built out. This is your new construction buyer profile, and I think if you understand the pain points of the buyer, for new construction specifically, then you can have good copy, good ads off of it. So like understanding like what keeps them up at night, what are they thinking about? Like all of those things is going to allow you guys to have better copy, better results, speak to the pain points. I mean, the guy who landed a $4 million client, like from our community this morning on office hours was sharing about it. And one of the things that he said was that the reason why he connected with her because he knew a lot of his people or a lot of people buyers right now are getting outbid, right? They're getting outbid and they're tired of it on the new construction stuff. So what he was able to do is position himself to go and like help her do a scraper, like find where she wanted to be, scrape the house and then build something brand new. And so that's that right there, like understanding her pain point allowed him to seal the deal. And so I think for you guys, this will be really important to understand like what are the pain points. I just put it in the chat. But what are the pain points of each of these people, right? And then I do have some additional ad copy that I stayed up late writing for the new construction. This is stuff I'm going to be testing. I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know if it works. But what I do know is that I wouldn't stay up till 2 o'clock if I wasn't excited about it and I thought it wasn't going to work. So that's what I know for sure. So I'm going to drop this here in the link as well for you guys. And then I have some AI bots that I'm going to give you guys that help write better copy.
You know, once you have your video, y'all's homework is to get your video. And then if you don't know how to, hook it up, just come into office hours and we'll help you hook it up.
Okay. So bam. Okay. So there's this. So this will help you guys with your buyer profile. Like I said, understanding their pain points, what keeps them up at night. So you guys should be able to.
Braden?
I have.
They do a lot of that stuff. You got it or
no?
Yeah. Gotcha.
I did talk to him on Sunday though, which is funny. Yeah. So ad copy. So this is some of the copy guys that I stayed up late writing here. Share. Can you? All right. Cool. All right. And then I have some bots that I can give you guys that'll help you with writing better copy. And then I'll explain each one. And then we can take some questions. I think the biggest thing, guys, is number one, like putting time in your calendar to actually go get these shot. If you don't put it in your calendar, then it's not going to happen. Or at least put like, okay, 60 minutes. I'm going to script out what I'm going to shoot. What Jimmy talked about, different locations, having like a shot list, doing movement in these. If you're doing like a video sales letter, then that's going to be something where you're stagnant. But if you're out shooting content, or if you're out doing like a Facebook ad, it should basically be in movement and it should change every like 3 to 7 seconds. And then what it should also do is it doesn't always have to be like in front of the house. It could be like you getting into the car. I think of a story, right? Like, so if you were going to tell a story or someone was to follow you along the day, like what would you do? I mean, it'd be you, getting in your car, going to the gym, and then all of a sudden you get ready and then you go shoot the video. Like if you were to do that and talk about new construction, it would perform great, right? Because it has a storyline and people like stories. I mean, there's a reason why stories work. And so think of it as something where you create 2 to 3 videos and each one has anywhere from 3 to 7 different locations that you're shooting and everything is like 7 seconds each. Every shot list piece is like 7 seconds each. And if that's what you did and you put it together, your video would crush, right? So let me do, all right. What other ones do I want to give you?
I heard an interesting analogy. Well, I don't know if it's actually, when you think about a CEO and their main role, a lot of times their role is to cast the vision and tell the story of what's going to happen next and so on and so forth.
All right. So I just threw these in there. They're from ChatGPT. And I agree with that, Jimmy. The first one is basically helping you write better hooks. So it's just a pre-prompted bot where you could say, "Hey, I'm shooting a house. This is what it's about," or "Hey, I'm shooting a video. This is what it's about." Go ahead and give me like 3 or 4 different hooks. Or you could say, "Hey, here's my current script. Give me 3 different hooks that I could shoot," right? And then you could run all 3 videos with 3 different hooks and see which one performs better, right? And that's going to help you guys. It'll also write your entire copy for you. The second thing in there I threw was a sales letter. So sales letters, like long form sales letters, are like super underestimated. So what I would do if I were you is I would maybe update the buyer profile a little bit based on where you live. So if you live in Phoenix, then the person may be a little bit different, but somewhat similar. So it could be someone who's making 200K a year and they're looking for new construction anywhere from like 700 to, 1.3 or whatever. And that's kind of like the buyer profile. But what I would say is like, why are they moving to Phoenix, right? Maybe they're moving there for the job. Maybe they're moving there for, to have a second home or whatever the reasons. Like you guys research the reasons. You guys should know the reasons, right? Why do people move to Vegas? A lot of people move there for the tax purposes, right? And so, like touching on all those different things within your buyer profile, and then taking that and putting it into a sales letter, and then you could take that sales letter and you could mail it out. You could do 1,000 letters to different people. Shoot, if you didn't, you could just instead of a door hanger, you could just trifold it and just stick it in the door. And the sales letters are gangster. And when they're done right. So that bot writes awesome sales letters. And then the VSL, the video sales letters. So VSLs, the way that I personally use VSLs is for like when someone books into my calendar, so no matter what it's for. So it's for a cash offer, for new construction, for an agent looking to partner with us. Every single person has to watch a video before they get on a call with me. And the reason why is because when marketing's job done right, it removes 90% of the selling. And so in that video, you're handling a lot of the objections that buyers may have right now. And so if you understand your bio profile, then it should be really easy to plug that into the VSL and say, hey, go ahead and write me a VSL for my buyer, for my new construction buyer. They're going to watch this before they're going to book the call, and then they're going to have to watch this video before they get on the call with me. And what that video does is it first off, it clearly articulates your value proposition. It removes a ton of objections they may have and allows you to really just add value in the conversation when you get on the phone with them. So you're not trying to sell them. They're just really trying to figure out like, hey, should I like who should like they're hoping that you actually want to work with them, right? That's the idea. That they actually feel like they want to work with you versus not trying to figure out should they work with you. So it's a totally different feel. So those are what those three bots are. I have others, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I think those are the three that I think would be most beneficial for you guys right now. One that helps you write your copy. Two that helps you guys have a like be able to have long form sales letter print that you can use. And the third is the video sales letter. And I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have on those. But that's how I'd use it. And then making sure that you guys have a buyer profile when you create your content. And then some of the like put these in the show notes when we email out the results. But one of the things that I like to do is I use a teleprompter when I record. I used to not, but I've realized that why am I making my life harder? So I use something called Riverside, and it has a great teleprompter. It also records like really clearly if you don't have a good mic. The other thing that I like about it is it's really easy for you to edit or for other people to edit within the platform. So it's not an editing platform, but it does have some capabilities of editing. And it's easy for me to take that and send it off to VA and have them edit it or do whatever with it. And so there's a lot of reasons why I like it, but those are a lot of them. So that's what I got. So you go ahead and use those and then let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll do some questions and then we'll wrap it up. You guys got any questions?
Hey, I have one. Is anybody using an AI to call people? Not so much to answer, but to call out. Because I've been looking for some that are not ungodly expensive.
So there's some built into your Attract ROI account that you can go ahead and edit and make better. That's going to be something that I look at doing in February, spending some time and building out some for me personally. But I haven't had the time to dive into it. What I do know is, I mean, I've spent some time and been to some AI conferences and stuff like that. So what I do know is that the the outbound calling is definitely not as good as the inbound calling. Like outbound is I mean it's just you can really tell it's AI based on, and that's not just with the Attract ROI account or Go High Level account. That's with like every voice AI. Like they're still, I mean it's good, but it's not great. The inbound is awesome. And that's what I would focus on is building out the inbound, because if you do it right and people are reaching out to you and you have a good offer and they're calling you or trying to get into, whatever conversation with you, then I would personally look to set that up to be able to book people into your calendar, handle objections, all that kind of stuff. That stuff I will be going over on this call once it's done for me personally, but I have not spent the time to build it out. But you could dive in. It's in there. It's just called AI Agent. and there's some that are pre-built. But what I would be doing if I were you guys is I would be recording your calls with your current leads now so that you do have a big like list of like audio that you could just drop when you're ready for it. And it can know what you sound like. It can know how you handle your objections. It can know all these types of things. It can know your market. It can know what questions, like frequently asked questions people are going to do. Like the FAQ, like the frequently asked questions, FAQs, like that's a big thing. Like if you could figure out, and it's good for you to know all your objections anyways, but if you could build out a big FAQs, that would be really easy to teach your AI agent to be able to how to answer those questions.
Do people you wanna show people maybe how to or where to go to make sure they're because I don't think that's a default, that is turned on by default.
It's not. Well, whoever asked that question is asking the right question. Just I haven't spent time doing it yet. So if you come in here, it's just right here, AI agents. You can click on
Oh,
AI agents.
I meant, making sure their calls were recorded, but you
I
can do
mean,
that too.
what I do is I just loom them, right? So loom, LOOM.com. It creates SOPs. So I just loom my calls. So I press play on the loom and I just talk with I do this. I have it right here in the mic and I just have a conversation like this. And
Loom on your phone?
no, on my computer. So I'll call from my phone and the computer's recording and I'll just record from my mic, right? And it picks everything up.
Oh, and you're saying Loom will transcribe it?
Loom will transcribe it. It creates it into SOP. It's really good for trainings. There's a lot of different use cases for it. So
Okay, I thought you meant, like, have it recorded in a tracked ROI so you could download it later.
no, I mean, I just record it on my on like on Loom because I think it's a better because it transcribes it. It's better for training. People can
Yeah.
see what I'm searching, like when I'm answering questions, like if the client's asking about a certain neighborhood or asking about certain things, or if it's a listing, it records me looking things on the up on the computer, and so for training
Yeah,
purposes, it's just a lot better.
gotcha.
That's a really good idea, by the way. But Canva does it too.
Cool, I like it.
Kyle, I got a quick question. When you're using Riverside, are you using that just on your phone?
Yeah, great question. So Riverside is used on both, but yeah, when I'm out shooting content on my phone, I use the Riverside app and I can pull it up and I can record, anywhere. The only time it may not work is if you get like into like really bad service, but most of the time it's going to be just fine. So,
And
um,
then instead of, I mean, I like the idea of handing that off to a VA, but do you have a recommendation of a editing?
yeah, I know a lot of people like CapCut and Descript. Those are probably the top 2, I think, that people use. For me personally, can I edit? Yes. Is it the best use of my time? Absolutely not. And so that's where I come down with that bottleneck of like,
That was my next question is because in all this, that's we're trying to figure out what to hand off and what to hang on to and still create individual personalized experiences. Is there in the editing, is it really just come down to like just cleaning it up, or is there effects and like different things that you do that can also set you apart and that you would be lost if you just hand it off to
yeah, great question.
edit?
And yeah, I think there's a combination of both, right? So based on like the purpose of it, and this is kind of getting into like the deeper details of things, right? So like if I were to shoot a VSL, so like a video sales letter, and the point of that is them to watch it before they get on the call, that would be something where there would be maybe some editing at the very beginning, but most
Mm,
of that's going to be like me
mhm.
talking, to my camera from my main computer. And so a
Yeah.
lot less editing. If I'm doing something that is, and about, if I'm shooting a new construction ad, something like that, then there would be some editing at the beginning. But I believe right now there's too much editing effects and it almost waters down like the authenticity of things. And
Yeah.
so I believe what I'm more attracted to naturally right now when I'm scrolling is things that have less editing, right?
Mhm.
Because it feels like an organic post. And so that's the direction that I would go is a little bit like you want to be strategic in your editing, but you don't want it to feel so edited where it's like harder to watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think there's a balance and ultimately like testing, right? So it's like, hey, I'm gonna do one that's pretty edited, and then I'm gonna do one that's just maybe has the hook and it has some visual effects at the beginning. But after that, it kind of goes into something a little bit more organic and see which one performs better, right? Because your audience is gonna tell you, like, hey, which one performs better.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when it comes to YouTube videos, because everybody in here should be having YouTube videos for their cash cow, right? One thing that I always talk about, well, not always, but when people ask me about this sort of topic, so the FAMs, would any of y'all be interested in seeing the FAMs kind of progression from like the first video they did and then, a few months later when they got a microphone for the first time and then finally James had I got a hat on over there. Here, hang on one second. After a while, has his hat on like this. Literally, he's in basketball shorts and flip flops, and they sold 500 or 409,000 in commissions. Right here, I'll get y'all the snippet to that. But what I was gonna say is their first videos, and I'll put it in the chat here in a little bit. You know that 1 or 2 seconds where you hit the record button and then you, like, get it all set up and then you, like, clear your throat or whatever and you're about to start whatever you're gonna say. You know those 2 they didn't even take that part out. I think that shocks people.
Yeah, I think the authentic is good.
Here, I'm gonna pull that, here it is. And then I put one of, so Alex does, like, a super edited version. Yeah, James has his coffee in his hand too. Yeah. And then I put one of Alex, so there it is. So Alex has a super editor, it's super fancy, but Alex also sells 20 million a year from his channel. So just so you can see kind of what is possible. But I like giving people that because it's like the first one is, I mean, they didn't even have a microphone in their first video, right? And then the second one they figured it out. Yeah, and then the third one they got his backwards hat. Oh, and sunglasses. I forgot about the Big Papa sunglasses.
Cool, guys. Well, appreciate your time. I know we're a couple minutes over, so I want to be respectful of you guys' time. And we'll send over Jimmy dropped some stuff. I'm gonna send over the show notes to everybody that was on here. So you guys will get that and the recording if you need to go back to anything. But appreciate you guys and we'll talk to you guys soon.